impromptu poetry writing contest, and I would win. So I think my natural talents were definitely aligned with all of that more. But that happens a lot. In science, in physics, there's a lot of people who basically have, they're kind of like multi pronged, multi passionate, multi. Oh, good. Hi, Ben. Hello, Ben. Love your channel. Thank you. What makes English hard is pronunciation and spelling. No, go, and so. Why does not do sound the same? Do. Do. From now on, we can just say that. Do that. English is not a logical language as to pronunciation. That's very true. I think something like Spanish is more logical, right? Like the pronunciation is sort of matching how the phonetic thing is. So that makes sense. I think I've had so much exposure to English, like reading and all that stuff, that it became like second nature to me. So I have an advantage. Like some of the English pronunciations, I might have gotten wrong in the past because I read it in a book, right? When you read English, you might not know the pronunciation. So, but that's fine. I think a lot of people I think a lot of people are pretty good at English. It's like so common. I kind of wish now that I also had maybe taken another sort of Western world language, like Spanish or I don't know, French or something. Um, the main one I know is really English. I understand a little bit of Spanish, but yeah. Anyway, I think English is so spoken, right? So even if you like didn't know it, you could probably pick it up because it's so common. But yeah, you are right that it's not logical. It's got different roots, right? The Latin and the German and everything. So I think definitely you're right with the illogical pronunciation of it. Anyway, so let me finish up this chapter, which is basically now a summary of the remaining chapters. So in this first introductory chapter, I am now summarizing the remaining chapters. The work presented in this thesis is with regard to the Anita experiment. So that's the main experiment that I worked on for my thesis, even though I also learned about all the other cousin experiments as well in the field. But that's mainly what we will cover. Chapter 2 describes the Anita instrument and highlights new electronics that tripled the instrument lifetime of Anita. So I talked about how, so a few lives ago, I talked about these notch filters that we built that were actually a lot of fun and that became sort of more important and more adventurous when we actually launched the experiment in Antarctica. And that particular hardware ended up being a whole paper, and it was ended up giving us really, awesome results and helped with our lifetime a lot. So that will be something I cover. Chapter 3 describes the development of a new technique for analysis known as the bint analysis with a focus on background reduction. So something that we will talk about a lot with these types of experiments is that you basically have to work on understanding your noise sources because you're trying to detect a signal that's pretty rare. So most of your data is going to be noise. Like most of it, like large majority of it is just going to be noise, anthropogenic noise, some other noise, thermal noise, And so being good at understanding which parts are noise and what type of noise is basically the name of this game. So we worked on that. I worked on that, and that's part of this thesis as well. And then the first physics results from this new analysis are presented in chapter 4. Chapter 5 is a review of gamma ray bursts, my favorite transients, in the context that these exotic events